Hello everyone and welcome to In My Mug, episode 327 on the 16th of February 2015. Before I do anything, today is mine and my wife's anniversary of us meeting, and I'm never going to say to her that, you know, happy anniversary, but I'll say it on here, so happy anniversary, dear.
So, wonderful.
Yeah, we met in 1991, well we got together in 1991,
Okay.
so that's what, 24 years of we've been together.
You're together?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And I was only 3
That's
at the
wonderful.
time. I was just 3 years old.
Very young. You're still young.
I wish. As you can see, I'm joined by guests today. Come on, Raphael, would you like to introduce yourself? So these are the has-been guys that have been buying your coffee since 2003. And I'm always talking on these videos about Carmen and Raphael, they're my friends, and I go and see them. And I thought, like, today we could do it on the video. So could you let them know who you are and where we are?
Hello. My name is Carmen, and I'm wife of Rafael Silva. We have 3 children. One is 26, the other 25, and the little girl, she's 22. We are right now with a wonderful company. Yes, of Stephen, who has been so nice of coming and visit. We've been working for him for the last, I don't know, several
12
years.
12 years I've been buying
That's
coffee
right.
from you. But
That's right.
not directly, we've only been working directly
That's
with
right.
you for the last, like, 4 years, 4 years, something like that.
But it's been a wonderful experience, and we feel very privileged to have him buying our coffee. So we're right here at the mill. This mill is named...
Big equipment.
The name is San Pedro, Beneficio San Pedro. Rafael built it 5 years ago. After we used to be exporters, but then we had to use other mills to do other work.
Which is it's very common in
It's
El
very
Salvador, isn't
common,
it? It's
that's
not so
right.
much in other places, but El Salvador, the farms tend to be much smaller
Yes.
than like Guatemala or
Yes.
Nicaragua. So
Yes.
mills will generally just take in cherry and process it for
That's
you.
correct.
And, yeah.
That's
and,
correct.
and Raphael, you say you are a perfectionist. I think that's fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
You always want things to be perfect. How frustrating was it working with a mill that didn't do what you wanted to do? Was that difficult?
No, not really.
Yeah.
But we try to best to do
Yeah.
tener cuidado,
Having
tener el mejor cuidado del manejo del
taking more care
café,
of the coffee,
cleaning,
more the
the
cleanliness, traceability, a lot of factors that come in, but I guess that was what Rafael
And since
thought.
having the mill, have you been able to do more of that and have more control processing yourself? Has that been?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yes.
For my father have a mill here in El Salvador when I grow in the farm.
Long time ago.
A long time ago. And we know about some process, and we've been working for a lot of years in a mill. And now here we're trying to do the perfect thing that we learn. Everything is changed. The machine is another type of
machinery.
Machine is aquapulper, some people calling aquapulper. It's another word.
So when I've talked to you guys about this, I've said about mechanical scrubbing. So basically this machine here takes the cherry, if it's a washed coffee, we're doing a natural this week, but if it's a washed coffee, it takes the cherry off and then it takes the mucilage off.
That's right.
Whereas in the olden days you would dry ferment it or underwater
correct.
fermentation.
That's correct.
So this helps you to have smaller spaces, process the coffee easier.
And there's another thing. With these machines, you can use different processes.
Right.
You can leave more or less mucilage, and then there you get the wash, semi-wash. You get what else?
And this is
the
where
honey's natural.
this is where the honeys have come from.
That's
from
correct.
These Paganos. Is it Pagano? That's
Penagos.
Penagos. I knew it was.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I get Pinalese and Penago mixed
Okay,
up, and then I
okay.
make a new word.
Okay.
But that's where this came from. Was the honeys was from this machine that didn't take all of the mucilage off,
That's
or some of
correct.
the mucilage off.
That's correct.
So, tell us about the farms that you own. So, the first coffee I knew you from was La Fanny,
Lafani,
which
that's
still
right.
sits in my heart deeply. Like that coffee
Thank
is my benchmark for amazing coffee in El Salvador. That's what everything has to try and beat. But you have other coffees. So you have this week's coffee is Siberia,
Yes.
which is on Santa Ana.
It's in the Santa Ana department. Let's
La
say,
Fanny is in Santa Ana department.
No, Santa Ana is Aguachapán.
Santana is
here,
Aguachapán, here
like-
in Apanica.
Right,
Yes,
okay.
here in Apaneca. In Apaneca we have La Fanny, San Cayetano. We have
Noruega.
Noruega. We have
Divina Providencia.
Divina Providencia. And in Llano Grande, which is this farm right here where we have the mill.
And El Carmen, is that another?
That's a
one-
Tablon.
another
That's
one.
another.
Yeah, that's Tablon in the.
And then these are all in Aguachapán. This is in Apaneca, everything, no? Which is the department of Aguachapán. And Siberia is in the other side of the mountain range, which
So
is
it's crazy, isn't it?
Apaneca.
You've got La Fanny here and you've got
That's
Siberia
correct.
here,
This is
but they're
the same mountain
actually
range.
just over the mountain.
But it's
and
the other side.
Right,
So you have
so
to
there we
drive
go.
by the area of Santana.
It's a long drive as well, I seem to remember.
But you can go through the mountains. If you go
Okay.
motorbiking or whatever, you can do it from there. It's
Right.
a lot more fun.
and you promised me next year that we can go to Siberia.
Yes.
Yeah.
We already
So I'm
made
going
a
to
plan.
come for like 3 days if I'm allowed to go to Siberia.
Yes, we are going to go to Siberia next year. Yes.
So tell us about Siberia. So how did it get its name? Where does the name come from?
I guess it was because of the chaotic. At that time, it was late 1800s, and it was very difficult to get there.
Right.
Very difficult. The roads and everything. My Rafael's father used to go horseback riding, so it took him maybe 2 days. I don't know how long to get there. I mean, it was very difficult to reach, and still it does. Still
And
it
the weather was very different.
The weather?
The
Uh-huh.
weather in that time. Because it's very cold. A lot of clouds coming every
clouds.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Clouds,
No,
See.
and it was very freezing.
You see a lot of farms up there kind of with those kind of, there's another farm up there which is Alaska on Santa
That's
Ana
right.
as well, which
Yes,
is
that's true.
Ernesto Mendez, who
Ernesto.
these guys will know as well. And you see lots of ones called after countries, because you have Norwegia, which is obviously after Norway.
Oh well, but Norway has a story.
So we're going to do this story, even though we're doing Siberia, we're going to do this one because it's such a cool story. It really
Noruega,
is.
yes. Noruega, it's the name came after because Rafael's grandparents met in San Francisco and they got married there. He came from Norway. He's Norwegian. His last name is Hoff. So he married Rafael's grandmother, and they came here to live in Apaneca. And Rafael's grandmother had this property here, this finca, and she named it after him because when she married his grandfather.
I love that
So
story. I
that's
love it very
Noruega's
much.
name came from. Uh-huh.
So we've looked at this aquapulpa here, which is for washed and pulp naturals and honeys, but we're doing a natural this week. So tell us about what happens when the cherry comes in. What do you do when that cherry comes to the reception tank
When you're
here
doing the
for a
naturals,
natural? Yes.
well, you wash it.
Okay.
You wash and take away all the any soil, whatever that can come.
And do you use that to find like the floaters as well? Do you take anything out at that
Yes, yo creo
stage?
que sí, ¿verdad? At that moment.
Uh-huh.
Y después, ¿qué le haces? Después de que la lavas, ¿qué haces?
We send it to the patties
To the patties.
to dry the
To
coffee,
drain the
to
water.
drain the water and
Where?
drain the natural
Juice.
right,
And during that time, do you?
for a couple of days.
And so that goes to the patios, which are just over there for like
That's right.
3 days, depending on whether
That's
it's
right.
cloudy or not.
Yeah, it depends for the weather. And before, after that, we go on to the bateas.
Well, we go to
To
the
dry in
African beds.
bateas, slowly drying.
Yeah.
Although Rafael always says not African beds, they're Apaneca beds. So that's different.
So I'm going to show you some photos now on the screen of the actual, it's like a big plastic tent, and then
Oh, that's right.
there's a photo on the screen now of the actual beds in there, and you'll see the naturals drying, and
Yes.
we'll find a Siberia in there that's drying so they can see
Okay.
next year's one.
Oh, good.
But so then it goes in the beds. Now, how long does it take to dry in there? I guess it changes again with how warm it is.
Sometimes we need 20 to 28 days. It depends from the weather.
That's really interesting. So it has an initial sun
Here
drying.
we are grinding coffee in 1,500 meters over the seas.
Which is really, really high for a mill, isn't it? I mean, this is super. In most mills, you tend to find like 1,000 meters.
Yes,
below.
definitely.
Yeah. So,
Here tends to slower the process.
yeah. So we've just been cooking in there, and we've been cooking some washed, which they're amazing. They're great. But what makes you different? Because I just called you the king of naturals in there. Your naturals are super special. Why do you think your naturals are better than other people's naturals that I've tasted in El Salvador?
That's a complicated question.
Because I think I know. You walk around this mill and like look at the equipment there, spotless. Look at the tiles, spotless. All around the mill, it's super clean and it's attention to detail. There's so much detail. So
I guess.
I'm going to show you a picture now of one of the guys who's turning the coffee, and he's got Crocs on, and everybody has to wear. You put supplementary footwear just for the farm.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Yes. Because you have to keep. This is alimento. How do you say? This is food.
Yeah.
So you need to keep that ¿cómo se dice? Sanidad. How would you say? Keep it clean, sanitary. Definitely.
Now that is such a small detail. It's a tiny part of it, but I think that's what makes the coffees here so super special. And this guy's attention to detail. Your eye, I kind of watch you. Kind of, there's a guy there like turning the coffee. And I've seen you a couple of times going, is he doing that right? And his attention to detail. And listen, I love the coffee. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do a great job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So what we're going to do now is you're going to see the map bit, which I recorded a few weeks ago. So you can see my map bit.
Yes,
so
I
we
have.
zoom down, and so we'll be doing that,
Google
which will be to Siberia, and then we're going to be back and we'll be tasting the coffee. So we'll speak to you in a little while. And guys, thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you know, I think the map bit is one of my favourite parts of In My Mug. I just love maps and I love geography and I love seeing myself wave you off. So we're going up and away, and we are going to be going across. Now, I've gone for a slightly different kind of map this week. You can see that it looks a little bit more patchworky, but this is how I got more detail. We're going down to El Salvador again, and we're going down to that area where we've been many times. But before we do that, let's look at the facts. So El Salvador has over 20 volcanoes, which is quite apt. I've been talking about volcanoes a lot in my mugs recently. But it's a very active volcanic area. Let's go down, and Nahapa from last week is there, but we're not going there. We are going down to... There we go. So we're going down to Siberia here. So here we're looking across the mountain from Siberia, and that's Guatemala just in the distance. The lowest point is the Pacific Ocean. The highest point is 2,730 metres. And there's that wonderful topography chart again that I love so much. I really do like looking at all of these like detailed maps. You kind of get to learn so much more about the geography. But let's swizz around from the Guatemala view and let's go round to look at the sea. Can we see the sea in the distance? No, we're not going to quite see it on this one because it's just round the mountain, but let's whiz round so we can. So there is Siberia. And you can actually see that though there's windbreaks there. Those are coffee trees. This is the real kind of growing range that you see. I have seen this view physically with my eyes. It actually reminds me. So there's the sea just to the left there. And you see Lefani is the other side, which is the sister farm of this one. It gives you a really good idea of where they are in relation to each other.
Right, so we're back. I hope it was a good map bit. I seem to remember it being a very good map bit because you sent me coordinates for the farm,
right.
so I could zoom in. I've got a feeling we show Lefani on there as well, so you see the two sides of the mountain, but very different places. So we're sitting here with the coffee. It's been drip brewed, so you have a drip brewer here.
Yes. Yes.
So what do we think? Well,
I think it's wonderful, and I want to be honest. I don't like naturals, but this natural is wonderful, and it's true that it's a Siberia natural, but I don't think it's, aside if it's quality or not quality, it's the roast.
So
I believe
I'm
it's
just-
wonderful.
While you're talking about, I'm going to go get that bag.
Oh, please.
And what I'm going to do is just show that we came all this way.
Delicious.
So, just to prove, yes, we've got somebody who wants to be on camera, I think. So, same as what you're drinking, exactly the same. And yeah, I think I've said this to you before. I really like your naturals. And I know you're not a fan of naturals, are you? You don't normally drink them either.
No.
Would that be right,
No.
Raphael?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of this one?
Well, it's a wonderful coffee. I feel different flavors. Suave, ¿cómo se dice?
Sí, es
But good balance. But good balance.
Yeah.
suave would be mild.
Yeah.
Mild.
Juicy.
There's a real juiciness there, isn't there? And
It
like
is.
for me, I get like raisins, you know, like the
Yes,
currants, and a real licorice taste in there as well, which
Oh,
is you know, so you know licorice? Is that?
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know what's here and what's not. I go, do you know licorice? I'm like, yeah, we got loads of it. But no, I for me, it's such a clean natural.
Yeah.
It's so well,
It is.
you know, and you can taste the processing that it's been
Of
done
course.
again with that care and attention that we talked about. I hope you guys are enjoying it back home. This is my. I haven't seen it edited yet, and this is my favourite ever in my mug so far. This has been cool. You guys have been awesome. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you
No,
for letting me
thank you.
do this.
Thank you.
And I guess what I have to say at the end of everyone, because it's 327 now, and it's life is definitely too short for bad coffee. And Raphael's just walked off. He's had enough of us.
I know. He's closing.
No, he's closing the door. There you guys. See you soon.
Thank you.